Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you in part by Story Bleich Roofing. Don't get stuck with a company living 10 years in the past with outdated practices and materials. We've got you covered. Metal, slate, tile, asphalt, and shingle. We're locals you can trust. Story Bleich Roofing right here in Pensacola, Florida. I'm Thomas Faddish alongside two of the same Short Track guys in the studio as always. Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07 Can'tQuitFishing.com sportsman and 2021 sportsman champion right here at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. And Ted Baber at Ted Baber Video Productions. What's up, guys?
Good evening.
What's up?
Well, we just had a blast this weekend. Doubleheader, if you want to say, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday on the dirt. The battle at the beach and the clash on the coast with the sprint cars, the late models, and IMCA modifieds. Woo! And we've got a late model event coming up this weekend, and they're going to hunt for the bear.
Yes, they are.
That's it.
Well, before we get to that, that was at Southern Raceway here in Milton and Northwest Florida Speedway in Baker, Florida. It was also, I guess you would call Blackman. That is in that area.
It's in that area.
Man, there was a huge dirt event Friday, Saturday, and then Monday and Tuesday. And we've got that late model event coming up at Montgomery Speedway this weekend. But I think Jim, our sportsman champion, took his car up to Montgomery to get some practice laps in. We want to hear all about that one.
Oh, it was fun, man. It's a decent little ride, but man, I hadn't been on Montgomery Speedway since like 99 or 2000. That's been a long time ago.
A little bit.
But there were some good cars there. I mean, John Boy Wilkinson was there. Hunter Robbins was there testing because, you know, the Bear's a big race for the pro lates. And then they had the late model Sportsman, which is like a super late model on 8-inch tires with a 2-barrel carburetor. And my good buddy Jeremy Peebles is practicing his car, so he invited me to come up. So I figured, man, if I'm going to go up there, I might as well take the car. We were decent. I'm really surprised, you know, how well the car did. The first run was a little, second run was really good. The third one, it was really good. Then it started stumbling. I have battery issues right now. I got to replace the battery. I got a brand new one in the truck, as a matter of fact, given to me by Jeremy Peebles. Thank you, buddy. Then Jeremy went out and practiced, and I was spotting for him. A third run, man, he got really good in that car. I'm like, and he was complaining about the seat poking him in the ribs. And I said, hey, dude, if you need a relief driver, you know, I'll climb in there and take it out there for you. Pick me. Pick me. Yeah, that's exactly. But it was the fight for the bear. And God forbid if it doesn't rain this weekend, because it does not look good for Friday. Saturday, maybe. But Friday's looking bad. I looked at the weather a little while ago, and it says thunderstorms. It doesn't say a percentage of thunderstorms. It just says thunderstorms.
Period.
Yeah, so that's never good. Nope. So Stan and Emerald keeping an eye on that. Hopefully they'll get it figured out, and they'll get the race in. I hope so. But, man, I forgot how much fun that racetrack really is. They got rumble strips on the bottom. They put concrete up. And I didn't know going on a racetrack, you had to go all the way around the backstretch to blend on the track. So I get in the middle two, and I go over, bottom the car out, going across one of them. And I'm like, okay, I guess I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm like, okay. And then, nobody came around and told us anything. But it was good to see. Stan came over and talked to me. We had a conversation. I had a conversation with the tech man. They were like, man, Stan comes up and goes, wow, your truck does make it up here. I'm like, yeah, it can. Now that I got Big Green, I got my 3/4 ton, but it was a good time, had fun. I mean, it's good to be back behind the wheel, and it was good to help Jeremy, and I'm hoping that we can go up there with his car this weekend and have a good run. And the following weekend, Mobile International Speedway has their opener on Saturday night, and that's where I'll be, Saturday night in Mobile.
Speaking of Montgomery, let us find out who's going to be hunting for the bear this coming weekend.
The bear.
With the weather permitting. We'll hope anyway.
Yes.
The list we have so far includes Clint King, Gage Rogers, Chase Bradlin, Christopher Tullis, Jake Finch, John Bolin, Chase Johnson, Harrison Holder, one of the many Holder drivers, Landon Devon, Jonathan Knox, Dawson Sutton, Casey Roderick. Yeah, we've been looking around for him here for the past year and a half or so. Hunter Wright, Holt Holder, Augie Grill. Yeah, imagine that. Seth Christensen, Wayne Willard, James Kleckler, Stephen Nassy, Charles, is listed as Charles Keevan, but everyone knows him as Charlie Keevan, George Phillips, Zach Dixon, Gavin Graham, Carson Brown, Stephen Chun, Boston Oliver, Dylan Fetcho, Jeremy Williams, Jim Hall, and Brian Carver. And
that's field of cars for pros, man. That's, yeah, if I had to pick a winner out of that bunch, I would bet my money on that 18 car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hunter Robbins.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
He just gets around that place so well. And the legend Ronnie Sanders was there
Yeah.
Saturday at practice. I'm like, I was walking with this girl I'm dating, and I said, "That is a legend." He goes, "Who's that?" I said, "His name's Ronnie Sanders. I watched that man race when I was 9 and 10 years old. That man still get it done. I bet you climb that car right now and probably do pretty dang sporty."
It'd be fun to watch.
It would be. It would be. But I mean, good. I mean, that facility is top notch up there. It really is. It's the way it's set up. It's nice. The grandstands are nice. I mean, Stan Narrison does a great job at Montgomery. And like I said, I hadn't been there since 99 or 2000, literally, and went up there, and the place hasn't changed. It's the same as it was. Same everything. So it was good fun going up there. But the thing about this race this weekend, I wish he'd run some supers up there. I don't know when he is going to. I don't know if he has any. I don't think he has any SRL or anything like that planned for up there. But the Bear is the big race for them. The Alabama 200. Then they usually have Rumble by the River, which is a 125 a pro late model race. So I think it's a good place.
How many entries does it look like?
Looks like well, I can't count them from here, but I would say 20.
20.
At least 20.
At least 20.
Right.
Stellar entries.
And that was just what we had so far. That may not be the final list. We've still got a few more to go. And speaking of SRL, a few changes going on there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole name's changed. It's no longer the SRL National. With Ricky Brooks taking over Cordele Speedway in Georgia, the people have gotten together with the SRL series, and it's now under UARA, United Auto Racing Association. The West, there's going to be West and East like there was last year, but it's going to be under UARA. Right. And Ricky Brooks will help foresee the East Coast and the racetrack at Cordele. And another gentleman, Collins, I believe was his name, is going to take over the West Coast.
Right.
Because Ricky was over both of them last year. Now taking over the Speedway, he's not going to have time to do both of them. Plus, if people don't remember, the UARA was the head of the Hooters Pro Cup Series.
Right. Yeah.
When the Hooters Pro Cup Series was. So I know they've been running late models, but I don't know where. But now they're back in the spotlight, kind of like ASA's made a big comeback. So we got ASA and UARA coming back. I mean, when are we going to have the All Pro Super Series back? That's what I want to know.
Larry Collins and Brian Olson are the other two members of that.
But isn't that neat?
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be cool because it's going to grow. And all these big late model series is so exciting for short track racing because you've got the Southern the All-Star Series, you got the Southern Super Series, you got the UARA racing series now. I mean, it's just getting bigger and bigger for the short track late model guys. And the thing about it is, there's more and more teams I've noticed lately. There's rich kid teams,
right?
But you're starting to get more and more of the homegrown teams coming back, like the Ronnie Sanders, like the Bubba Pollards, like the guys that, that don't have the cup money to run. And if those series can grow again, I mean, I would love to see it like the old All Pro days. And you had guys that made a living racing late models on short tracks.
Right. And we were love some short track racing too, because that's where it's at. The competition's better, the racing's better. I mean,
lots more drama.
Yeah, yeah. Now there has been some pretty decent racing in NASCAR. I got to say, due to gas mileage and just some really close finishes, things look better. But overall, I like the short track better.
Yeah, well, they're racing Lamborghinis in Cup now. I mean, the transaxles and the whole. It's not. It's not stock car racing that we know it because they're listening to the OEMs. Oh, we want it this way. We want it that. Look. Make them look like they're supposed to be. Make them a real stock car. But that's just old school me talking. But they finished Atlanta was very exciting with Daniel Suarez getting that nudge out. And I know we're not a Cup Series deal, but that was if that wasn't exciting, then you don't have a heartbeat.
Nope. And one lug, come on. I mean, part of the drama of the overall thing was
the five lugs. Yeah.
I love that sound.
Yep, it's pretty damn cool. But I mean, and you had that New Zealander in the Xfinity Series finishing third in his second oval race.
Van
Gisbergen. Yeah. Shane SVG as they call him.
Yeah.
But I mean, to listen to that guy, he's somebody to follow. He really is, and it's pretty cool because he comes from New Zealand, racing this Australia Super Touring car, and now he's over here.
Yeah, I love it. He posted something on Facebook about that. Okay, so they interviewed the guy that finished first and second And then he had some select words that I won't repeat here.
No, but he's going to grow. He's going to grow in the sport.
Yep.
And I believe he'll help the sport grow.
Right.
And I think that's what we need. We need some drivers that are exciting and willing to step out. And I think he's going to be one of them.
Speaking of that exciting finish, there was one last comment, and then we can drop this one. It had to do with Kyle Busch. He said something about, how the finish was very exciting, but it just needed a couple more inches. And believe it or not, his wife dropped a bomb on him. She said, I've been telling you that for 20 years now. Oh, that hurt.
Boom. Ouch. Dang, honey, thanks a lot.
Yeah. So nice of you to let everybody know that.
Oh, that was funny. I heard that. That's hilarious.
Oh, boy.
But I went Monday to the Battle at the Beach up in Baker. And let me tell you something. I like the way IMCA puts on a show. I wish they would do asphalt shows. Dude, they get it done.
Yeah.
Their announcer's exciting. He keeps the action going. He never gets quiet. He talks about the drivers. He makes the drivers sound exciting and fun. They race hard, and this is cool. And if you're in one of their heat races and you spin by yourself, you're automatically out.
Oh, wow.
They park you immediately. That's it. And if you get involved in a caution with another car, you get to go to the tail end. But if you spin by yourself, you're done. You go automatically to the consi. They ran, I guarantee you, in the stock cars, the modifieds that night, there was 99 modifieds there.
Good Lord.
And there was probably 70 stock cars. I mean, they were filled. The entire pits at Baker were filled up. They were going out of the pit area all the way out to the road on either side of the main road end. Mm-hmm. There was pits out there. That's how crowded it was.
Dang.
But they would run 10-lap heat races. And I mean, it was one right after the other. As soon as that one was done, when the first 3 cars peeled off, they have to go to tech because they have to be checked. Mm-hmm. Then the next one's already rolling. They roll the track in for a couple laps, drop the green, go. Track got some holes in it, and it was a little rough. So I saw modifieds like bounce off the ground. I mean, literally all 4 wheels off the ground and just keep her hammered. I'm sure there was some broke suspension in some of those cars, or had to have been.
Bent, broke, or otherwise destroyed.
Yeah. Kenny Wallace and Ken Schrader were there. Ken Schrader won his heat race, finished 9th in the feature. Kenny Wallace was there. I don't think he made the modified feature. He made the stock car feature, and in like the first lap, they piled up going into one, and he just happened to be a victim. But I got to meet the Herminator, and what a great guy. I mean, just he loves dirt short track racing. He's no longer a NASCAR guy. And I saw someone in the grandstands saying, "Oh, it's a NASCAR guy." Not anymore. No. He loves short track. And he took time to talk to me and Mike Gorham. We were there. Me and Mike went up there. He took time to talk to us, shook our hands. Thanks, guys, for coming. And just a great guy. I mean, I've always thought I loved his podcast, loved listening to him, but I've never met him. Right. Now that I met him, I'm definitely a fan. And he signed my autograph book, so that was cool.
Well, you mentioned before we went on, he was pretty impressed with your autograph book too.
Oh yeah, well, I've had it since I was 9 years old. I mean, it's ratty and falling apart. I keep it in a Crown Royal bag because it's in such rough shape, but. When Bubba Pollard signed it a few years ago, he's like, "Man, how long have you had this?" And I told him about it. He's like, "Man, that's pretty dang neat to have something like that." I said, "It's a piece of my history. It's a memory for me, and I love it, and I keep it, and I cherish it."
Well, as well you should.
Yep, just like my Bubba Pollard roof hanging in my thing, just like our Bubba Pollard fender sitting over here. It's just cool stuff like that. I mean, we're racers, and young people nowadays. This is something that I see a lot of young people. They don't get involved like we did. When I went to the races when I was a kid, dude, I was in stock car magazines, just constantly looking. I didn't care about music. I wanted to learn about race cars, and. It's amazing to me how these kids aren't as excited about it as like we are.
Well, they're not raised up with it either, so.
I really wasn't, though. I mean, I was kind of, but my dad wasn't a huge race fan. He would go, but when I got involved, he would go. He would want to be there every night I was racing. He saw me crash a few times and stuff like that. But I mean, it's the thrill of being around the cars, the sound. I mean, some of these young kids would rather be in a phone or in a tablet instead of being involved with racing. And I'm sorry, short track racing is exciting. You got to get involved. Now, I will say this, there's a lot more excitement with kids on dirt than there is anywhere else. I will give it that, man. That was, I got home and I was covered in a layer of dust and had a smile on my face. It was a great show. I mean, and like I said, IMCA keeps things rolling. There's no a lot of downtime with them. which because there's many cars they can't really
Right, exactly.
can't really do that. But you would be surprised, guys from Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Missouri. I mean, from all over, just came down to run this one race.
Yeah.
Because last year they didn't have the stocks there; they just had the modifieds. This year they brought the street stocks, and there was a boatload of them.
Mm-hmm. Makes for a good show.
It does. It's a really good show. I think that I'm going to go back to the next one. I promise you.
Oh yeah.
Well, you got the battle and the clash. It just seems like it was an all-out war because Friday and Saturday night was not any different with the sprint cars. And they had modifieds out there and stingers. I know there were only 3 of them at Southern. But, I mean, they put on a good show. They didn't get away from each other. But it was just an all-out war this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then Monday and Tuesday. Terry Gray and Terry McCarl, all those guys from the sprint cars of the wing sprint, they just put up blistering speeds. I think they were putting up like 13.6, 13.7 track times, and just the hot laps. And then feature, they got a little quicker than that. But what a great weekend for dirts. If you're just a short track fan, I mean, you gotta visit one of those with a non-wing or wing sprint. Some of the modifieds too. They're just a great show. It's a family entertainment. It's a different atmosphere, different venue, reasonable prices, good food. Just a great time all around.
Get out there with your friends. Let's support these tracks and keep them alive while we can.
You don't support them, they're going to close.
That's
and
it.
And racers, I tell you, that's something that aggravates me is racers that get on social media and bash racetracks.
Well, when they get a little spoiled and they get too used to winning and having their way, that happens.
Well, you can blame it on the track because lots of times the tracks do things that they shouldn't do. But the point being, you don't do that because if someone moves to the area and they're looking on their social media, I want to go to a racetrack. Oh, this racetrack sucks. I don't want to go there.
Oh.
Might be some of the best racing you get to see, but I don't care. I don't look for social media. I don't listen to that garbage. If I want to go see a racetrack, I'll go see it. And if I think something's wrong, talk to the promoter, talk to the people around there, let them know what the problem is.
Form your own opinion. Don't let somebody form it for you. Find out.
Exactly. And bring people to the racetrack. If you find a racetrack that you like, bring a buddy, at least a different buddy every week, and start to get a crowd together and come on out and cheer on your favorite driver. Pick somebody. I've had people pick me, and man, they love me to death. And I'm not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I do okay. And it's fun to have people cheer for you. It's nice when you get out of the car, you hear people in the grandstands yelling for you.
Exactly. It gives you that charge, that energy to keep on going, because sometimes you need that.
Yeah, you do. I mean, especially with the cost of racing now, as much as it's costing the drivers. I mean, our economy sucks, and it's just killing short track racing. A lot of guys don't have the extra money, and the people are complaining. I just read the article not too long ago. People complain about getting sponsorship. Well, you got to beat the ground to find people, and you got to give them a reason to sponsor you. Now, some of my sponsors, most of mine are friends I've known for years, and they want to help a buddy out, and that's cool. But I mean, if you want to get a good sponsor, you've got to give them a reason. Tell them what you'll do for them. It's not what they do for you money wise. It's what you can do for them for the money that they give you.
Right. All important.
Yeah, it's no longer sponsorships. It's quote unquote marketing partners.
Yes, that's.
So I mean, I'm gonna work, I think, with Phil Gins and see if I can't get me a few sponsors, and see what I can do. I mean, I need some parts for my car. I need some stuff to make it better, and it costs money. And when you're single and you work hard and you do your right things, it's just hard to do.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is doing the right things versus doing what you could and just try to get away with.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like I said, racetracks need to do 3 things: promote better. They need to help their drivers out. This is the thing. When you got a guy that comes over and shows up every single week, and he can't win every week, but he runs with you, he's faithful to you, throw that man a bone every now and again.
Really?
When he finishes 5th, instead of paying him the $150 a fifth plate, give him $250. Give him a reason to come back. And when a man has a bad night, has an accident or something, give him a pit pass, give him a tire. Say, hey man, listen, here's a free thing for a tire for the next race, man. We want you to come back, get your car fixed. Anything I can do to help you, anybody I can talk to, things like that. Promoters used to do stuff like that. Now they just don't give a damn. They don't care.
No.
They're just like, yeah, you're going to show up and race or you ain't, and that's,
If you want to race bad enough, you'll be here.
Okay, yeah, but I'm going to spend my money. I may spend it at another racetrack, and I may quit coming here.
Yeah, there's always that.
Yeah, but I mean, you know how many times when I worked at Flumpton, I heard the words, "I ain't never come back this pile of junk. I hate this place." Next Saturday night, they're the first car sitting in line. It's like, I thought you wasn't coming back. Oh, shut up. I mean, it's just, it's a great sport, and you should and that's the other thing, get kids involved.
Yes. Start them young.
Start them young. If they don't want to drive, teach them how to work on a car. It also teaches them life skills.
Right.
Because so many of these young men nowadays can't change a dang tire on a car.
A little scary.
You know, that worries me. And the kid can't even pull a dipstick. Oh, I don't know.
Well, that's the other thing that when we were growing up, we had to work on our cars because, well, let's face it, we couldn't afford the best, and we had to keep them running.
Well, and our parents didn't have a lot of money, so it was like, I'm not paying somebody to fix that. I remember my first car, the timing chain went out on it. Daddy said, all right, we pushed it down the driveway and pushed the front end of the garage, you open the hood, and he says, get that radiator out of there, take this, and off, and you get that far, come get me. Yes, sir. I got tools out, took it apart, got down to the timing cover. He showed me how to get the timing cover off. We changed out the chains, lined everything up, cranked it up, ran. And he's all right, put it back together.
There you go.
He helped me put the timing cover back on so I didn't leak. Other than that, everything else was on me.
There you go. Yeah, that's how it happens, you know. I mean, I had cars, I had I'll say a particular model of car. I actually bought 4 of them, kept one of them running for 14 years, swapping parts, and that's how it kept going. That's how it kept moving, but that's what you got to do. And that's how you learn.
Yeah, but, you know, nowadays, everybody pays to have oil changes done. Yeah. You know, that was something that I looked forward to some on Saturdays with my dad. We're going to do oil change on the station wagon and my Honda. Oh, heck yeah, cool. I help my dad. You know, we're going to rotate tires or we're going to do this. Ain't none of that no more. And that's just like even car washes. Yeah. There are all these car washes probably because people just don't want to get. I mean, that used to be fun. My dad and I would get out and get the bucket out and get the car soap out and we'd wash the cars.
Spray each other with a hose.
Well, no, you didn't do that to my dad. That's a belt whipping offense. No, you didn't hose my father down. He might get you, but you didn't do it to him. No, my father didn't play that game. Because, you know, my dad's hair had to be perfect. But anyway, I'm just saying, it's just, in this society today, nobody wants to work on nothing. Everybody wants to just sit around, pick up their phone, pick up their tablet, and it's ruining our society. And I mean, I'm not trying to get off into that, but if it's ruining our society gets that bad, there'll be no racing.
Right.
Because you can't have pay to play for everybody. Somebody's got to work on them. Somebody's got to take care of them. Somebody's got to maintain them.
Right. Yeah.
And if all the kids are wanting to drive and grandma and grandpa and daddy and mama can't write the check.
Sorry.
Yeah. And there's nobody to work on a car. There's no race car.
Right. So, no cars, no tracks, no fun,
No, but we need racing. It's the best sport there is. I don't care what anybody says ever. I'll argue with you the day I die. I'm a race fan. I'll always be a race fan. When I quit driving, I'm still going to go to races. I'm going to help people. I'm going to do it till I can't walk. And then when I can't walk, they can wheel me up there in a wheelchair.
Just load me in there, boys. It'd be all right.
That's it. If nothing else, I'll stream it live. When I can't get out of bed, I'll stream it live and watch it. So, anyway, Thomas.
Yeah. Got some early entries for the Sunshine State 200. You know, the ASA Stars National Tour, their inaugural race right here in our backyard at Five Flag Speedway. Albert Francis, Jacob Gomes, Connor Jones, Jet Nolan, just a few of the mentioned that entered early for the Sunshine State 200. That was a big one won by, not really a favorite, but one that we kind of pulled for. Yeah, Casey Roderick went on a hiatus, and we still don't know where he went, but he's back. Yeah. But he took the win last year and going to come and repeat. But a lot of those entries are coming in. Austin Nason, they're going to just keep piling in, and I would imagine 30 or 40 of those before it's over.
Probably so, that big race. But yeah, Casey's lucky he's been forgiven for wrecking Bubba Pollard, dude. I mean, no, dude, you can't wreck the man. But you want to talk about somebody going to come in there with another chip on his shoulder? He won the first one. He almost won the first one last year. I think Bubba's coming loaded, and he's coming for more than bear, I promise you.
Yeah, he's already had his season started off with a bang, so he's doing very well.
Yeah, I would look for him, and this was going to be brought up here, but I know what the answer would be, and rightfully so. I think after his first 2 big wins at Cordele and at New Smyrna, Bubba Pollard's on a mission, and I think it might have something to do with the way this past year, at the end of the year, at the Snowball Derby went down. There are ways to look at it, but I think that kind of like triggered him to maybe put a little more of a foot forward and say, you know what? It's on.
He's taking no prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it triggered his fans too, believe me. I'm still not happy about that. But you know what? As a Christian, I can forgive Stephen Nasse, but I don't have to like him. I don't have to forget about it. But Bubba ain't forgot about it because look what he did at Cordele. Stephen tried to use the car as a pick, and she's coming through. I hate it for you. Not going to do it again. Nope.
Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
Yep. I think next time something like that happens, Bubba's just going to let out and send Nasse into the wall backwards and just keep right on trucking.
Yeah. Well, okay, as long as we don't get the call from the tower. That's rough driving. You can't do that.
Oh, don't get me started about Nicholas either.
Okay.
That's a rant that I could go on because even old Cody Brusso's not happy with Nicholas after New Smyrna.
Yeah.
Didn't send Griffith to the rear for dumping her, but she drove back up there and bumped him out of the way and won the race. So, and speaking of Cody Brusso, I read today that she'd been up at Hamkey, her and her new car owner, with I believe it's a Pro Late model. They picked it up, said the car looks awfully slick. Ooh. So she's got a hot rod to play with. She's supposed to be driving a bunch of Pro Late races this year. So our girl Cody Brusso is going to do pretty good. If she's been on a previous interview on our podcast, look it up. And she won down in New Smyrna. The girl's got a ton of talent. She's going to be in a Pro Late model. So hang on, everybody. And trust me, she doesn't hold her tongue. When she doesn't like something, she'll tell you how it is. So believe me, y'all are in for a treat when she gets to your racetrack.
I don't want to date myself, but I actually somewhere in my archives have video of her at Pensacola Raceway Park racing go-karts.
Yeah. Well, her dad was one of my heroes when I was a kid, Donnie Brusso. So that's pretty dang cool. But anyway, so she's going to be tooling around the Pro Late model. So we'll keep an eye on that too.
Yeah. Racing genes in the family.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, NASCAR, if you need some archival footage, you can call me.
Just Ted Baber Video Productions, everybody.
Yeah. Well, give me email address too?
Yes.
Yeah. Ted_Baber at yahoo.com. I call myself a Yahooligan.
Yahooligan.
There you have it. Ted Baber Video Production. Ted Baber.
Got the old stuff.
Look him up. Yahoo.
That's it.
Archives video. Reminiscing.
Yeah.
Memories.
Memories. Oh, yeah. I go so far back with Ted. I have videotape of a couple of races that I've driven. So
old stuff.
Yeah, I got some old super stock, and that vintage win is on videotape, VHS. And it reminds me, I need to get somebody to put that over on.
Yeah, give it over something else.
Yeah, so I don't go away one day because I would love to watch that sometime. That was a fun race.
Well, Hump for the Bear this weekend.
Yep.
Next Wednesday's episode, we will have all the results there with that big bear trophy and one of the biggest, I wouldn't say the biggest, but one of the big Pro Late model races up there at Montgomery Motor Speedway to kind of kick off or continue our early start of the year. I know it's just getting into March, but man, we're going to start rolling here big time here in no time. So next Wednesday, guys, we will have the results with that and we'll continue that.
Then we'll go from the Bears to the Snakes because the Rattler's coming up pretty soon in August.
That's right.
Yeah, and the Five Flags opener's coming too.
Yep.
So
it's coming hot and heavy.
We got a lot coming. It's going to be a good season this year. Y'all hang on. Pull your belts tight one more time.
Yeah, that could be another like a 1, 2, 3. Those Pro Late models and super races coming at.
That's right.
So until next Wednesday, guys, it's always a pleasure to get together with you and talk short track racing in our short track podcast studio. Hey, thanks to our listeners.
Yes. Thanks to everybody, and buy some merchandise from us. Check out our hats and shirts, and give us a 5-star review, and tell your friends about us. Get us out there because we want to keep doing this. We want to do it for you guys, and we're going to have some guests on. We're going to do some big things this year, and we want y'all to be involved. So please send us an email, send us a message on Facebook. You want to hear something you want us to talk about, and any racetrack that's in the short track realm that wants us to call out their stuff, send us an email. We'll gladly talk about your track.
Send
Yes.
us a schedule.
Send us a schedule, yeah, and your finishes, your nights for the night finishes.
Some results, yeah.
Yeah, some results for the top 5 or top 3. We'll call it out for you.
We don't know all of them, but we'll get to the ones that we can get to.
That's it. So anyway,
Yes.
1,
2,
3.
let's go, Brandon. Good night, everybody.
be strong, America.
Thanks for listening.